I'm going to try something. We'll see whether or not it's going to work. Welcome to the Wayward Widow. I'm holding my camera, my phone, so bear with me. I've got my coffee. I really need this, and I bit the bullet and cut the bangs a little bit. Couldn't stand it any longer. Okay, let's see if we can do this. We're going to do something a little different today. It's the 18th, it's Sunday. I want to talk about grief and mourning. The light's going to change up because of the windows. The sun's going in and out, so bear with me. I looked up the definition under Google, and as I went on to Google, the first thing I saw was that Jack Russell, who was the lead singer of a band called The Great White. I didn't know of the band, but I went on anyway to read about it. He was 63, he passed away, and he had MSA, multiple system atrophy, along with Lewy body dementia. I don't believe Sky had Lewy body dementia, but he definitely had MSA, and that's the first time I've seen someone that has a death noted from MSA like that. And with as sad as it is, I'm so glad that there's more of an awareness. He was only 63. Sky made it to 71, so, you know. But anyway, I looked up the definition of grief, and I looked up the definition of mourning, because we use those words kind of interchangeably. And the definition, according to my Google search, is grief, deep sorrow, great sadness, anger, guilt, and despair. When I looked up mourning, it said expression of deep sorrow for someone who has died, typically wearing black clothing. When you were in mourning, you would wear something, dress a certain way, do a certain something with your house or yourself when you're in mourning. And it went on to say mourning is the expression of an experience that is the I don't know what I wrote. The something of an event, consequence, sorry, of an event in life involving loss, causing grief, someone's death, but not exclusively. See how sloppy my writing is. So when we're talking grief, we're talking that deep sadness. When we're talking mourning, we're more talking that black widow's clothing, the veil, some people cover mirrors. There's all types of mourning. I always looked at the words interchangeably, and I think a lot of us have done that. So I want to show you what grief means to me in a visual. Rather than sitting here talking to you about grief, I want to show you a little bit of what grief is for me. So bear with me. I'm going to kind of be here and there, and this is going to be all over the place. This is my bed. This side has all of my stuff. It doesn't have Sky. There's not a space for a person because there's not a person. His iPad. Grief. He used this every day. His meditation picture. When we got together, that's how I sat meditation. Just like that. And he would take pictures of me. That's grief to me. That's grief. Our wedding rings His is on the bottom. I took it off his finger at the time of his death. That's mine. It's what we exchanged when we went to the Zen Center and got married. Grief. My cherry blossom, Japanese cherry blossom body spray. It's the only smell he could tolerate because he had an aversion to smells. So every time I put this on, this is grief, because it reminds me that he could tolerate this. The little stones, he collected those. This he dug up. And this. That's grief. That's grief. Some of his ashes are in this necklace, along with this wedding band. This was the wedding band he bought me because it was easier for me to wear. We were sitting in a Mexican restaurant when he gave this to me and asked me if I would marry him again. This is grief. Glasses are going to go on. This is his robe. He wore this so much. This is grief. This is grief. Right here. His favorite t-shirt. One of the first Apple t-shirts given out. Yeah. He felt so like super proud to have that. And that's grief. This box. Pictures. Lots and lots and lots of pictures of him, his family. We went to the chocolate world, Hershey's, one day, and we made candy. His sunglasses. One of the cloths I put on him when I would help him to eat. One of the cards I got from the hospice company. With all the signatures. Little stones, little rings, little notes. that I put in this box. His handicap placard because he couldn't walk well. Him. Grief. His favorite tie. Let me get the once or twice he got dressed up enough to wear a tie. This is grief. His gloves. He liked these because he could use his phone and still wear his gloves. Grief. It's a whole lot more than a word. It's in everything. It's in, and this is just one room. His walking stick, one of two. Help them to not fall down. That's grief. It's a thing. It's a feeling. It's a visual. It's all over my apartment. It's hard. It's that tapestry. It was his favorite. Before I moved him from the back bedroom into the living room because I needed more space for him, the bed that he was in faced that tapestry. And he would say, "Poet, I feel like I could just walk right in there. I could just walk right in there." That's my definition of grief. Mourning. I'm not in mourning, I suppose, but definitely at times in some deep grief. It gets gentler and softer with time. I can look at these things now and it's not quite as painful. After 6 months, but it's a thing to go through. So I just wanted to share. That's grief for me.